Township Council to order. Diane, will you please read the opening statement and call the roll?
Yes. This meeting is being held in accordance with Public Law 1975, Chapter 231, Open Public Meetings Act. Adequate notice has been provided in the manner prescribed by law. This agenda is complete to the extent known, and formal action will be taken. Councilwoman Fisher is absent this evening. Councilman Nadell?
Here.
Councilwoman O'Donnell?
Here.
Deputy Mayor Gager?
Here.
Mayor Leggio?
Here.
Thank you.
So we are, Mayor asked manager, is there a reason for us to go into the executive session, Joe?
Yes, there is, Mayor. We have a number of topics to discuss, including litigation and ordinances and our COA obligation.
May I have a motion to enter executive?
Motion to go exec?
Second.
Councilman Nadell?
Yes.
Councilwoman O'Donnell?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Gager?
Yes.
Mayor Leggio?
Yes.
Thank you.
Reconvene meeting.
We'll begin with the roll call. Councilwoman Fisher is out this evening. Councilman Nadell?
Here.
Councilwoman O'Donnell?
Here.
Deputy Mayor Gager?
Here.
Mayor Leggio?
Here.
Thank you.
Everyone stand. Pledge of allegiance. Individual prayer.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
No, thank you.
All right, we have a couple proclamations here for Quinn and JJ. Could you please come forward? Ready, guys?
Are these buildings kids?
Where's the two young men?
Hey, I'm JJ.
JJ and you're Quinn? Quinn. All right. Stand over here. That's fine, where you're at. Okay. I don't need the microphone. This proclamation is in recognition of congenital heart defect awareness. Whereas the health and well-being of all children throughout Howell are of paramount importance to our township's families and community. And whereas each year, the week of February 7th through the 14th is known as Congenital Heart Defect Awareness Week. Approximately 40,000 children in the United States begin their life with one or more than 35 identified forms of congenital heart defects. And whereas congenital heart defects are the most common birth defect in the United States. Sadly, about 4,000 children die each year from complications of their congenital heart defects. And whereas the origins and symptoms of congenital heart defects are becoming more readily identifiable, and the range of surgical options are expanding thanks to doctors and scientists, diligent research efforts, and experience that extend our body of knowledge every day. And whereas it is important for the parents, family members, pediatricians, nurses to know the warning signs associated with congenital heart defects among newborns so they may provide proper treatment as early as possible. And whereas many of our community families are directly affected by their child's illness caused by congenital heart defects, and we applaud the efforts of the doctors and the scientists everywhere who work diligently to improve their quality of life. Now, therefore, the governing body of the Township of Howell does hereby encourage all residents to increase their awareness of congenital heart defects and support research and medical advancements to treat them. So to JJ? Yes, pictures. That's fantastic. That's all you from when you were a baby? And how you doing now with this? Yeah?
Healthy as ever.
You playing sports?
Yeah, I do wrestling.
Fantastic. You want to
He's
go
a
over
great
there?
wrestler.
Yeah? You want to go right now? Take me down right now? I might not get up. Well, I'll let you win if you want. So, this is yours and yours, sir. And same with you, you're healthy? Everything's going good for you?
Yeah, very good.
Oh, great.
I just graduated high school.
And where you headed?
I was gonna go to college, but I'm just working right now, so trying to get into uni.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
You got a plan?
Yeah.
Don't sit home and
Yeah.
hang out.
None of that.
But just watch some of your friends are gonna hang out and then they're gonna keep hanging out at 25 and then 30 and then
Yeah. Now
knock yourself up. All right? That's fantastic. Well, you,
400 local law.
oh, electrical.
Yes, sir.
That's great. Yeah.
Good representation of that union in Howell Township.
Good.
Yeah, well, what's her name?
Elsie?
Elsie Van Duzen. Her husband was huge. Yeah.
Alright.
And you young man, what grade you in?
Fourth.
What school?
Pardon?
Taunton. How was it over there? Yeah, you got a lot of friends?
Yes.
Yeah. No bullies, right? Any bullies in your class?
No.
Give them my number if you do. I'll take care of it, all right?
That's a good thing.
Did you want to talk about your pictures?
Yeah, let me see your pictures. What do you want to talk about?
You have a microphone here, you can,
All right.
yeah, and tell everybody about them.
Here, I'll hold it for you. Who you pick?
Whoever, or somebody, so it's
Here.
doing it.
Go ahead.
Let's go, man.
So these are some of the pictures that we took of Quinn when he was in the hospital and when he came out of surgery when he was 5 weeks old. He was born with a huge hole in his heart. The doctor that saved his life, and we go back to New York Columbia Presbyterian to say hello to everybody every now and then and donate some stuff. And then here, we used to live in Rahway, so we used to do the proclamation with them. We also do a walk with the CHD Coalition that is in North Jersey every year. We've been doing it since he was about 9 months old. So here are some pictures from the walk that we've done. But this is probably the craziest picture that we had because that's a picture of Quinn right after he came out of open heart surgery. That's the first thing we saw.
Well, you've come a long way, young man.
Yeah.
And I see you're friends with one of my friends, Mr. Stanton. So that means you're rolling around the map on a regular basis, correct?
Yeah.
That's fantastic. Go ahead, sir.
I just wanted to bring of my lifesaver over here, Trevor. If you guys don't know, he performed CPR on me when I entered cardiac arrest at his house on a Friday morning, May 10th of 2024, and he saved my life, straight up. There's no other way to put it. He did CPR on me. Him and one of my other buddies, Giovanni, he's not here right now, but the both of them gave me enough air and to stay alive and make it to the hospital. And I don't think about, there's not a day that goes by where I don't think and pray for them, because without them I would not be here. And I just wanted to shout them out and say thank you, I guess. So,
Thank you. Who else is his family?
oh yeah,
This is
Marlena is hiding over there.
She's our
Very,
911 caller.
yeah, she called 911. She witnessed the whole scene, and it's traumatic as it is. It's a good thing that she was there because no one called 911 faster. So, yeah.
Yeah, Trevor didn't know he was going to be a hero when he went to bed that night. Wake up and get out of bed and perform CPR.
That's pretty
Way to
good.
go, Trevor.
Thank you. Yeah, definitely. Thank you for doing that.
Hey, hold these up, kid. Give that to your mom. You want that up? Take some pictures. This kid looks like a little wrestler.
Oh, that rolls around.
He's got the stand.
Get the picture.
I don't
right, come on. Squish it in. Squish, 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 squish.
He found out he had that.
All right, ready?
Right.
Yeah, good luck.
Oh, we should have. This is a room of wrestlers right here. Jay, one of the best wrestlers in town. Trevor's a stud wrestler. Big wrestlers. Ev wrestles. Yo's wrestling. Look at that practice here. Let's put them in roasting. That's what I like to do. Way to go, boys.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for coming, Max.
No, I asked him if he,
Right?
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Acceptance. Yeah. May I have a motion for the acceptance of minutes of January 21st and February 4th, 2025? Meeting minutes, may I have a
I'll make a motion to accept both dates.
second?
Councilman Nadell?
Yes.
Councilwoman O'Donnell?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Gager?
Yes.
Mayor Leggio?
Yes.
Thank you.
Our professionals? Mr. Clark?
A couple of quick announcements. The 2025 Howell Business Directory and Community Guide that we put out in conjunction with the Chamber of Commerce is now available. We have a bunch of them up here on the table for anybody. They're free for the taking, and they are out now. Second thing is paper shredding. We have one coming up. Mark your calendars. This is pretty far out in advance, July 14th. It's going to be at Memorial/Adelphia School. It's going to be on Monday from 4 to 8 p.m. So finally, March 1st, 2025, we're going to have a rabies clinic from 9 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. at the Public Works Garage, 278 Old Tavern Road in Howell. The inclement weather date will be March 8th of 2025.
Mr. Howard?
Just want to give a quick update on some of our ordinances that we've been working on with some local farmers in town. Happy to report that we do have an ordinance up for introduction tonight for on-farm direct marketing. It's a very broad ordinance that models the county right-to-farm laws and the state right-to-farm laws. Very few changes and tweaks to it, just some minor things. Ultimately, it's being added to our right-to-farm ordinance, which means it's an as-of-right activity. If you can stay within compliance of the county and the state rules, then it's an as-of-right activity, no permit needed, and you're going to be able to do those activities now. We're also putting some tweaks on our special events on farms ordinances. We had a very positive meeting last week with a group of local farmers, and we hope that we could tweak out and iron out the last few issues, and maybe as early as next meeting be introducing, it'll be a group of ordinances for those, but we hope to have that included next meeting.
Caitlin?
Just one update. We are getting ready to go out to bid on our one remaining liquor license. Council previously approved a minimum base bid of $275,000, so we will be publishing our bid requirements within the next week or so, and we will be accepting applications for the bid packages, $275,000, is the base minimum bid, so we could get more than that from interested bidders. And we expect probably the award or bid timeline will be through March and submitted in early April.
That's it? I would like now to open the floor for the hearing of citizens and public comments.
Each person shall first give their name and address to the clerk. The council should be addressed as a collective body and not as individual members. Each person shall have one turn to address the council, and comments shall not exceed a total of 5 minutes. Speakers shall be notified when their time has run, and no time extension shall be permitted. Push the button, man.
Betty Velez Gimbel, Squonkum Brook Farm, 97 Victory Road. On behalf of Howell Farmers United, we support Ordinance 2506. We are pleased our township has aligned the direct marketing ordinance with the state's Right to Farm Act. Thank you, Mr. Howard and Mr. Clark. At times, we seem to be speaking different languages, but we kept at it, and so we appreciate your efforts. The Right to Farm Act provides eligible, responsible farmers with protection from restrictive local government ordinances, as well as the public and private nuisance actions, provided those farmers operate in accordance with agricultural management practices. The county's Policy 6 contradicts the Right to Farm law. We are grateful the township acknowledged this in the ordinance being introduced this evening. The delegates to the 110th State Agricultural Convention, assembled in Atlantic City, February 5th and 6th of this year, strongly support New Jersey's Right to Farm Act and oppose Policy 6. In Resolution 16 of the Right to Farm program, the delegates call for the SADC to request reaffirmation from the Attorney General regarding the jurisdiction of the CADB. They also support measures to increase the capacity of CADB and call to reaffirm the policy that farmers have the right to go directly to the CADB for determination of right to farm eligibility or site-specific AMP instead of being forced to proceed through the municipal land use process. In essence, we are pushing back against Policy 6 and calling for it to be rescinded at the county level. The on-farm direct marketing ordinance tonight has restored our faith in Howell Township as a farm-friendly municipality. We asked nothing more than what was established in the Right to Farm law. We would like to thank Mayor Leggio for taking the time to listen to the farmers and understand the situation. And we are grateful to Councilman Ian Nadell for his support through the process. Collaboration resumed because of you both. We look forward to our next meeting with administration regarding the special occasion events ordinance, which also seems to mirror the township's friendly farm approach. On behalf of Teresa Reed, Stephanie Gluck, and myself, thank you for the consideration to appoint us to the Farmers Advisory Committee. Thank you.
Anyone else? I'm not seeing anyone, so I'm going to make a motion to close public comment.
Motion to close public?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I just have one quick response, or just regarding Policy 6. It's obviously something even administration has spoken to the county about extensively. We don't necessarily agree that sending everybody our way for right to farm activity is always the easiest. It obviously puts us in a position to have ordinances covering things that are otherwise covered under right to farm. Not to say that Ms. Gimbel had put any words in her mouth. We're not opposed to it. Pretty much, if that policy exists, we're going to follow it. The county puts a policy out, we're going to follow it. State says we have to do something, we're going to try and follow it. So whether it exists or not, we're going to try and follow. The ordinance definitely cuts that out as a deterrent, as any type of red tape. So we're happy to move forward with it. We think it's going to be a good thing for the township. It's very broad, but I just don't want anyone to think that we're taking a stance against the county or anything. It's just this is the way we're choosing to permit it in light of that Policy 6 being in existence.
So I'll echo what Mr. Howard said. First of all, thank you to the farmers. I knew that we would get across the finish line eventually, and I think the last meeting was probably the most pleasant we've all had, and I see Betty nodding already, so she's in agreement. The agreements keep coming. I just did want to note for the record, and just to make sure, credit where credit's due, everybody on council wanted to see this across the finish line, so we were getting pressure from every quarter to make sure that we worked to do what was right for the town and for the farmers, so.
That's it from our professionals. Council members, Mrs. O'Donnell, any comments?
No, I think I'm good, thank you.
Nadell? Mr. Gazer?
I'm just happy that the farmers thing is finally settled, that's all.
Well, I got a few things to say. So, but it's, listen, very positive tonight. Last meeting, you guys finally, came to pass on this entire thing. I don't want any credit. All I was an ear listening, during the campaign. And I learned a lot reading what was on the books and what wasn't on the books. And I was actually confused too, Mr. Clark and Mr. Howard. I was a little confused with the whole thing. Why it went the direction it went in a few areas, but like I said, it all came around, and everybody's happy, and that's great. So, Betty, I have a new nickname for you. It's the Betty the Bully Velez, because your work, your tireless effort, and I don't know how many hours of sitting there and going through these ordinances with the state and at the county level and sitting with your group and coming back and forth and, whatever, all went down. You stuck up for what you thought was right, and in the end, it all came to where we are tonight. And your efforts were fantastic. Sticking up for what our farmers deserve in town. That was already on the books anyway. So, whatever mishaps happen, I'm just happy, guys. I really am, being new here, and this is over for now. And hopefully we get the next stage, finished. And I'm confident Mr. Clark and Mr. Howard are going to make that happen too. So that's it.
BBV.
What is it? BBV? Yeah. You got a got the initials now, Betty. BBV. I don't know if you like that or not. Sorry if you don't like it.
We could take the E off the end, so just the bull. I'll take
The bull? You don't want the bull? Got the horns? All right. All right, guys, we're up to vote on consent agenda items. Does anyone wish to vote on anything separate? No? So we have resolutions, here we go. Approve the consent agenda items, R 25-85 through R 25-94.
Like a motion to approve resolutions R 25-85 through resolutions 25 through -94.
Second.
Councilman Nadell?
Yes.
Councilwoman O'Donnell?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Gazer?
Yes.
Mayor Leggio?
Yes.
Thank you. The consent resolutions pass.
Okay, now we have public hearing. This ordinance 0-2502, an ordinance of the Township of Howell, County of Monmouth, State of New Jersey, amending and supplementing Article 5 of Chapter 223 of the Township Code entitlement, canvassing and soliciting of real estate. Any public like to speak on this? I'm seeing none. I have a motion.
Motion to close public.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, no hearing. If anyone wishes to come, they don't. May I have a motion to adopt 2502?
Motion to adopt ordinances 25-02.
Second.
Councilman Nadell?
Yes.
Councilwoman O'Donnell?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Gazer?
Yes.
Mayor Leggio?
Yes.
Thank you. The ordinance is adopted.
Ordinance 0-2503, an ordinance of the Township of Howell, Chapter 139, Section 69, facility fees of the Township Code. Would anyone from the public like to speak on this? I'm seeing none.
Motion to close public.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
May I make a motion to adopt 25-03?
Motion to adopt ordinance 2503.
Second.
Councilman Nadell?
Yes.
Councilwoman O'Donnell?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Gager?
Yes.
Mayor Leggio?
Yes.
Thank you. The ordinance is adopted.
Ordinance 0-25-04, an ordinance setting forth and amending the supplement of the salary range schedule for the salaries of certain officers and employees of the Township of Howell. Would anyone from the public like to speak on this? I'm seeing none. May I have a motion to,
Motion to close public.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
motion to adopt 2504?
I'd like to make a motion to adopt ordinance 25-04.
Second.
Councilman Nadell?
Yes.
Councilwoman O'Donnell?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Gager?
Yes.
Mayor Leggio?
Yes.
Thank you. The ordinance is adopted.
Ordinance 0-2505, ordinance to exceed the municipal budget appropriation limits and to establish a cap bank.
Motion to introduce ordinance 2505.
Second.
Councilman Nadell?
Yes.
Councilwoman O'Donnell?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Gager?
Yes.
Mayor Leggio?
Yes.
Thank you. The ordinance is properly introduced.
Ordinance 0-25-06, an ordinance amending Chapter 244, Right to Farm, Article 1, Right to Farm, supplementing with Article 2 on on-farm direct marketing activities, and the revised general ordinance of the Township of Howell. Motion?
Make a motion to introduce?
Second.
Councilman Nadell?
Yes.
Councilwoman O'Donnell?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Gager?
Yes.
Mayor Leggio?
Yes.
Thank you. The ordinance is properly introduced.
Ordinance 0-2507, an ordinance amending Article X of the Township Code entitled Zones, revising Section 188-84.5 entitled Moderate and Low Income Housing Overlay, Zone 15, known as ML-15 Zone.
Motion to introduce ordinance 25-07.
Second.
Councilman Nadell?
Yes.
Councilwoman O'Donnell?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Gager?
Yes.
Mayor Leggio?
Yes.
Thank you. The ordinance is properly introduced.
All right. The next regular scheduled council meeting will take place on March 4th, 2025. Executive session begins at 6 p.m. Regular session will begin at 7 p.m. Seeing no further business, may I have a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.